like the cool blue light, like the cool blue light, like the cool blue light, like the cool blue light.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hello and welcome to today's coverage of Sacramento State Esports, where today your very own League of Legends Green Team will be taking on the Southern Utah University's T-Birds Gaming. I'm Nick the Lights Azevedo, and joining me this evening will be Jordan Tasty Edwards. How you doing tonight, Tasty?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, Nick. I'm excited for some League of Legends here. As you said, we got Green Team versus the T-Birds. What are you most excited for here, Nick? Because personally, I'm excited for the new things we can see on this new patch. But I'd like to hear what you got first, because I got a lot to say about my stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, last week we saw, one of the biggest things, obviously, Renata Glask, the new champion, will be enabled for this evening. We did see Renata Glask on the opposite side of the rift from our boys on Sac State just last weekend, and didn't quite pan out for our opponents there, University of Montana, but, we'll see if maybe Southern Utah is going to bring that in this evening and show us maybe a fresh look.
Yeah, Renata Glask, as well as Zeri too, because these champs got released really close to each other. Honestly, I don't think it's been a very long time since we've seen champion releases this close to each other. Like, especially since last year, they were so spaced out. Like, these two champs coming in within months of each other, both really changing the way that League of Legends is played, with Zeri, like an ADC that's really frontlining most of the time, and Renata. Renata is a very interesting champion, as specifically her W and the way that it just is like a pseudo Zillion ultimate. It's like really changes the way that the game can be played. So a really interesting champion. I really loved the introduction of Zeri, especially to competitive play, because it really shakes up how teams have to play their compositions.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Gives them more leeway into the aggression that they can use.
For sure. We'll see if either team decides to pull out any of those new champs today. Haven't seen a whole lot of Zeri or Renata representation out of our boys thus far this split, but who knows? This could be the day that we see one of those new picks busted out. We haven't seen Zeri for or against Sac State thus far. We did, like I said, see Renata last weekend. Not a whole lot of success there. We'll see if maybe Garrett wants to pull that one out. And the Renata, that is a super powerful champion under the right circumstances. I know the general sentiment is it can be a pretty hit or miss sort of champ. You see all kinds of different, outcomes with the Renata, varying levels of adeptness at the champ coming out of, your teammates in your solo queue games and whatnot. But we'll see as we're into champ select here. Southern Utah opting to take Xin Zhao off the table, ban that away from Bamo first and foremost. Funny enough, I haven't really seen Xin as one of Bamo's signature picks thus far this split. You associate him more with like the Hecarim, the Trundle. Zin's certainly not something he's shy about picking, but hasn't been his best performing champ necessarily, as Sac State Gonna take away Nasus, little target ban at 50 Rye guy there. Get that off the table. And then the classic, what we see pretty much every game against our boys on green team, the Jinx ban away from Venti and the Thresh ban away from Garrett. They're going to pick up those two champs every opportunity that they have to do so. Such a powerful pairing for them down there. Then Caitlyn going to cap off our bans.
Both teams shooting off bans like they're machine guns, honestly. Now, on the side of Sac State with the... actually, wrong size. My bad. T-Bird's banning away the Jinx. Now, I tell you, from the times that I talked to Venti, every time I talk to him about bot lane, he tells me how much he thinks this champion is like the best champion in the game. So T-Bird's going to be banning that away from him, making sure he doesn't get that powerful champion. Same thing with his Xin Shao. We haven't seen a lot of nerfs to Xin Shao. Even though Bamo doesn't play it, it might be a little bit more incentive for him to not play it. So would like to see what he's going to be choosing instead this game, as T-Birds have picked Hecarim, which is a very strong champion, especially now with the new item changes that happened in the previous patch.
Yeah, super strong champ, but also taking that B1, you get a takeaway pick from Bambo there right off the bat. You're going to ban the Xin away from him, but then also you're going to take Hecarim away for yourself. And so now I kind of noticed from the first two picks here, but we've got some sugar spice for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be, I'm almost certain, a full B skin lineup for Sac State. This Teemo, I have 100% confidence, is going jungle as well. Everybody, make sure that you stick around after game one. We've got a hilarious mic check for you all to enjoy from last week, and you can tell in the mic check that Bamo's been advocating to get his hands on this Teemo jungle for most of the split. He's got actually a Teemo jungle only account that's like it's peaked like low platinum, so he's no stranger to the Teemo jungle. We'll see what that looks like in a competitive setting. We've got Yumi picked up for Garrett. That'll be with the UB skin. B Zahar picked up. That could be going to XPNX or to Justin. Not too sure yet. And then the last bands there are going to be Alistair and Corky for the side of Sac State.
Teemo jungle, my ears are burning hearing those words, honestly. But the B lineup, if we get a full B lineup here, that will be one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a competitive League of Legends.
Or Biana. Or Biana. There it is. And then I expect this to be an R5 BMA is my expectation. And they've already picked Ezreal, so even if Southern Utah has caught on, we are going to get a full B skin Sac State lineup. We'll see if they can pull off a win. Obviously they are a good bit higher than Southern Utah in the standings currently. This match not going to impact Sac State's placement going into playoffs whatsoever. They have locked in second place with Weber State University's loss just this weekend. So not going to matter too much if they do drop this series, but I'd imagine if they do drop this game, they'll pull it together in game 2 and maybe come back from that one.
At least need one troll game in your in your competitive season, right? There's always got to be that one game where you just decide, you know what? Let's do the full B lineup. Let's do all melee champions. Let's even put Master E on our team.
Okay, so there it is, the full B lineup for Sac State. We've got Anthony Venti in chat there. This finna be lit.
Oh my.
I'm excited.
This
now,
is great.
Let's think about how this comp actually plays out. So I'm looking at it, and they have way over what you would like to have in terms of magic damage on this composition. So Urgot Hecarim going to be itemizing very heavily into magic resist and likely not going to be taking a whole ton of damage until you get to multiple items on your Kog'Maw. But then outside of that, not a whole ton of durability on the side of Southern Utah here. And then their composition fairly cohesive in its own right, for sure. You've got the Vex dive going to be enabled by Hecarim's own dive. You've got Urgot can follow up on that sort of stuff fairly well. And then Ezreal Karma does generally tend to have the range to support such compositions. So fairly cohesive for the side of Southern Utah. And then Sac State definitely going to want to play back, kite out that engage, and then hope that, maybe they get some solid laning leads for themselves and they can circumvent their pretty poor damage spread that, they're kind of forced into by going the full B skins here.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. If I were to be one of the players in this game and I had to choose what team I'd want to be on, I would choose T-Bird's composition because this is just the more solid team comp. But as we know, our Sac State Green team are very solid players. So even though they're playing what you could consider a troll lineup, you can't really count them out here.
Oh, definitely not. No, these are the fantastic players. And as we see in a lot of, Sac State's games, we do tend to have a pretty large rank disparity between our own players and the players across from them. So we'll see if maybe they bring them back down to size by playing this B composition. It's a little bit of self-handicapping, perhaps. But we'll see. It's going to come down to execution for sure. Typically into... One confusing thing that I wanted to bring up was typically into Yuumi lanes, the way that you like to beat the Yuumi lane is with kill threat. It just immense kill threat. We saw Sac State punish a Yuumi composition similarly in their game against Montana just last weekend. They drafted Samira Nautilus into a B1 Yuumi and were able to send the enemy AD carry basically back to the fountain on repeat. Man, could not play the game, fell down like 50 CS. It was just a miserable time. Whereas Ezreal Karma, a lane that's going to be focused very heavily on getting that poke damage in and whittling you down, that's not going to matter a whole lot with the Yuumi sustain. Obviously, you've only got one target that can potentially misposition or get hit by these skill shots, and then you've got the Yuumi sustaining them up. So it's a lot harder to beat a Yuumi lane with a bot lane like this. So we'll see how what Southern Utah is able to get done with this bot lane that they've drafted, because that's not the most compelling Yuumi sit-on target, so to speak, to sit on and take over the mid game with, but it's going to be a powerful pick for Sac State for sure if it's allowed to scale.
Yeah, definitely not many champs that you would see take over the game with the Yuumi assistance, but it's Kog'Maw. He is that late game champion, very known for being able to just stand there and absolutely melt everybody on the team. Now, important question I have to ask to you. After this game, if we see Green Team win, what's next for them? Are they going another B comp, or...
I would imagine that they go... well, that's the question, isn't it? I feel like they probably don't go B comp 2 games in a row. I don't think that's gonna happen, but at the same time, I can't imagine that Southern Utah is going to be throwing bans at the B champs or anything like that going into game 2 if Sac State were to win this game 1. So I imagine that they just go back to standard, play it stock in game 2, and send us on out of here. So we do have they've all got the B skins. Oh, this is fantastic.
This is beautiful.
This is beautiful.
No. Now, I do have one little idea. This is just off the top of my head, but there is Star Guardian. They could always.
Oh, maybe they go to another skin line. There's an idea.
Yep, but there's not really any the Bs, because our players all use the B icons, so it's nothing that's really as iconic as doing an all B line.
Yeah, it's the Hornets. These are Hornet skins. These aren't B skins, guys. It's the team uniform. As we do have a 5-man invade for T-Birds up toward the top side here. See, this is a pretty common little strategy. You get some information right off the bat, but Sac State's 5-point will sniff it out. Justin going to be able to see them in time. Head on out of there. It looks like they don't even seem like they want to get wards or anything. They maybe just were hoping to catch Justin napping there. Not too sure. Teemo jungle. I am so curious about how this is supposed to play out. My understanding is that Teemo jungle's clear is by no means the greatest. So the plan then becomes to just make the enemy jungler's time on Summoner's Rift as miserable as is possible. Just exploit him at every moment you are given and not even worry about your own camps. Just go PvP the enemy jungler.
Yeah, Teemo jungle. Now, as much as I absolutely hate this idea. It is fun. It is it's not the worst champion you can bring into jungle. Specifically, getting red buff like early on does make this champ capable of ganking, because due to the being ranged and such, and as well as being ranged, it does give them sort of a healthy clear. Now, once they get to level 6, Teemo can have a really good like vision control of both jungles because of those mushrooms, and not being tied into top lane, they could put them literally anywhere.
That is
which
true.
Makes it very dangerous for everybody on the team who wants to roam. So that being the jungler, support, mid laner, just makes everybody have a bad time. And Bamo being an experienced Teemo jungle player, as you say, is going to be utilizing those as needed.
I have to imagine so. It looks like he's opting for a pretty standard path thus far, going blue Gromp and then straight to his red. The red buff should get him level 3 if I am up on my jungle XP breakpoints.
That will be level 3 for Teemo.
And I have to imagine that this route is due to, the champion's lack of sustain in the jungle. You do have the blind to mitigate a little bit of the damage that's going to come through from the single target camps, which is probably why he was opting to clear only the single target camps.
Yeah, which sort of unorthodox picks like this. I said that correctly, right? Yeah. With these sort of unorthodox picks, you want to dodge all the multi-camps because it's going to be putting out a lot more damage than you can take. Teemo actually grabbing the Skull Crab early on from the Heck Room. It's not something I would expect from a Teemo jungle.
Yeah, I mean, Teemo definitely known to be a lane bully, right? But, I'm not sure how he does dueling early on into the game. Hecarim, not the premier duelist necessarily, but certainly no slouch. Look at Venti and Garrett in this bot lane, just bullying these fools with the full scaling bot lane. Oh, Bamo has found King on the Hecarim, looking to get aggressive here onto Bamo, but bot lane will have first move. Garrett on the UB, going to be able to get in there, heal up Bamo a little bit. That looks like it will dissuade any further play. So we've got the bot lane walking up now, trying to match the roam here. Venti doing quite a lot of damage to Zai here. Going to be able to pick up first blood on the Kog'Maw. King dropping pretty low as well. We'll see what the Teemo chase is going to look like. King gonna slip out of there with just a sliver of HP, and that tense skirmish in the river early on going to come out 1-0 in favor of Sac State on the B comp.
Yep, Sac State manages to get their first blood. You really don't expect Kog'Maw to be doing that much damage, but let me tell you, he stung right there. I did not expect him to pump out that much damage.
He stung, did he? The bee stung.
The bee definitely stung there. Manages to get a first blood on Kog'Maw this early on. This is not how you'd expect a lane to go like this, or in this sort of lane matchup with Ezreal versus Kog'Maw. So having this lead here, as well as a CS lead, it's going to do wonders for this champion.
Yeah, gonna get him to those items quickly. Kog'Maw loves to build that Wit's End, going to be fairly high value against what T-Birds have drafted here. Decent value into Ezreal, definitely a lot of value into Karma, Vex, even a little bit into Hecarim. So I'll expect to be seeing that first or second for Venti, and that early kill, as well as the CS lead, going to get him there that much closer.
All right. Now something I'm a little bit interested in while we wait for the next big thing to happen. What's Teemo going to be building here? Oh, actually.
Oh, XP looks like he could be dead. The flash is available, going to be able to get out of the charge from Hecarim. So just the flash expended there, but you got to imagine that King will be looking back toward that mid lane to punish this. A mobile mid lane mage now without her flash. Bama looking for a gank. Bot side, potentially. Not a lot of CC coming out from this bot lane and jungle duo. Bama certainly doing the damage here on the Teemo, going to chunk out the bot lane, but no kills going to come out of that play. XP going to get the shockwave down mid lane, but with no flash available, looks like he's going to go down to King on the Hecarim. Going to take the Raptors and then clear the Orbiana camp underneath the mid tower.
All right. That was a good one.
Oh, Bambo's in this! He walks right past him. Oh my god, Timo is something else.
Timo invis in the bushes.
Do they just one-shot him here? I think they do. No shockwave available to personal space. Going to get the fear off onto Bambo, and nothing going to come of it. Jackie just going to take half his HP there.
Timo, it's just such an interesting champion to see here, especially with how well it's going right now. Timo going invisible is one of the things I always forget about in League of Legends.
Oh, totally.
It's always a big surprise. Like right there, I'm sure that Vex was really surprised to see that Timo was in the bush with them that whole time.
And you mentioned the build earlier, and I did mean to respond, but we had that play mid lane. I'd imagine we're looking at an early Nashor's Tooth with the 2 daggers in the inventory. That's my thinking. That is pretty standard, Timo sort of stuff. So that would be my guess. Who knows, though? I mean, it's Timo jungle. We've got full B skins. It can be any manner of things. So we've got 3 down bot side right now.
A little bit of a fight going on down bot lane.
Oh, the Shadow Surge going to miss onto Venti. The Onslaught of Shadow is going to be cleansed away from. It looks like that's all it's going to take to get out of that gank. Bot side is we've got the gameplay button down for Justin onto 50 Guy. Going to be able to flash out of the Urgot ultimate. Could find himself a kill here. Let's see. Running out of there. We got fighting in the bot lane as well. Azakana dropped very low. Going to die to Bambo's blind. And the Timo jungle is on the board, baby.
That's 1 kill to Timo. For one thing, back to the... Oh, actually, I'm going to have another fight up
Justin's
top.
going to have to play this well. Not going to be able to dodge out of the Urgot either. That will be Justin going down top lane. So I could definitely contest Bambo on this drag.
And this is just the sort of action we see in these games all the time. You want to fit in those little bits of information there, but these people, they don't want to stop fighting.
It's non-stop.
Kills win games. That's what they all say. Objectives, nah. As we do grab the Cloud Dragon on the setting, green team though. Now, back to the Timo before we get interrupted. I got one more thing to say. Timo, one of those champs that has a multitude of different builds. Personally, from season 7 Timo main, I really like building a nuke mushroom build where you just build as much AP and burn as possible, so that whenever somebody steps on a mushroom, they essentially die. Now, for a Timo jungle, I feel like this would do even better because the mushrooms can really be anywhere. So, likely gonna be seeing an on-hit build from Timo, but just one of my personal preferences.
It's tricky to say. I certainly could see a world in which we get very heavy AP itemized by the Timo. I do still think this first item is probably Nashor's, but even that doesn't rule out either build, really. You could see on-hit Timo starting with the Nashor's. You could see that full AP Timo starting with the Nashor's and just picking up that item for the jungle clear, because obviously it's not the strongest clearing champ in the world. He is down, 16 CS to this Hecarim, one of the fastest clearing junglers in the meta currently.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the pickup with the recurve bow, that is 100% going to be a Nashor's Tooth. Unless it's a Wit's End or something.
Could be.
In which case, weird.
Oh, Shadow Surge landing onto Justin. It looks like he is just dead here. No flash available from the earlier play. The 0-2-0, the scoreline for Justin starting off, but 2-0-0 for 50 Guy up in the top lane, doing real well for T-Birds over there. It's XP. Flash not quite available, just a couple seconds. Going to get the shockwave down to buy a little bit of time, but not enough time. Bambo going to make his way in here, drop some shrooms on the wave, hopefully clear that one out. Herald's going to be dropped right in his face. We'll see if that one's going to be able to get any more than the mandatory 2 plates. We got final chapter down in the bot lane. Venti flashing in to guarantee the root onto Azakana there. Going to be a solo kill, or a 2v2 kill, pardon me, for the bot lane.
has begin to die down a little bit. One thing to note here: our champs on the side of Sac State, there's no mobility on any of these champions.
Literally not a single dash unless you count Yumi attaching to people.
Yeah, and so with the dive comp for T-Birds, with the dive comp they have right here, there's no way for Sac State champs to escape without Flash. So,
yeah, it is true.
Yeah, T-Bird's capitalizing on this weakness right now.
Justin is just going to die on repeat. Gotta play more carefully up there. This Urgot is off to the races. You've got very little by way of defensive tools on the Malzahar to stop an Urgot. So gonna need to see some more cautious play out of Justin at this point. 0-3-0 on the Malzahar. Gonna have to stop the bleeding a little bit. Make sure that you're just able to wave clear against the Urgot at this point.
Yep, and Guy now gonna be able to get that first tower. It seems, at least.
Yeah, was able to pick up all the plates, though. Guy's going to be huge. I'm curious what the gold differential is. We're looking at 2.2k just in the top lane individually. He pretty much is the entire gold lead for T-Birds right now. Jackie going to land the Shadow Surge onto XP and X, following it up. The Shockwave going to do just about no damage. Yumi is onto XP, going to allow him to live through the True Shot Barrage, but not the Mystic Shot that follows up that one. It's Sac State solo laners struggling mightily on these B picks. 0-6-0, looking like the solo laners in my solo queue games. So we've got Venti getting aggressive here. 3-0-1 on the Kog'Maw, trying to pull it back for the boys. Win pretty well.
Yep, Kog'Maw, the saving grace of Sac State right now.
Oh, King getting aggressive onto Bambo. This looks like a dead rat in the mid lane. Down he goes.
Dragon gonna be spawning up soon as Sac State's jungler is down. We could see a potential contention on this dragon, but looks like King is going to be moving up into the top lane to clear his top side jungle. As turret plates now fall.
I would have liked to see T-Birds play around that dragon a little bit more heavily right off of the spawn. They did kill Teemo right before the spawn of the dragon, so he wasn't up to get mushrooms down on the dragon play. You know, you can't clear vision as Sac State with your jungler dead. Justin just going to die again. Looks like they're opting to trade the dragon for the top tower as well as Justin's life.
Yep, I too would have liked to see T-Birds go for this dragon. They're going to not let Sac State take this for free, but Bamo going to be able to collect that smite, collect the dragon. And the Hex Gates have opened. I have never seen this in my games in general. I think I've seen Hex Tech Dragon one time. So this is really interesting.
Oh, it's gotta be my favorite map, personally. You have the Hex Gates leading from your base to both quadrants of the jungle. Those are so useful for just getting out onto the map quicker. That's a real nice one. I love being able to utilize that myself. Just ups your tempo permanently. Make that walk of shame back to your lane a lot quicker.
Yeah, one thing I do know is that Hex Gates, you are able to channel abilities in them. Sadly, we don't have any champs that can utilize that little quirk.
Oh my god, look at the damage out of Venti. So much damage. The Bork first item coming in for him. Not what I expected to see, I'll admit, with the changes to Bork. A lot more on the AD side, a lot less on the attack speed side, but it looks like Venti's making it work for him, doing so much damage down onto Southern Utah's bot lane there.
Kog'Maw, now a real force to be reckoned with. You thought he did a lot of damage when he didn't have the item, now he does have it.
And you know what? He's about the only one on Sac State doing any sort of damage right now, so we're going to have to see the team ball around this Kog'Maw very heavily. Reminding you of Season 5 or 6 a little bit, seeing the Juggernaut comps is, look at him. Just running in, no regard for human life. This man going to get the snipe onto Azakana underneath his own tower. Did a little loop-de-loop gank on his own lane there from the Tri-Brush. Love to see it out of Venti and Garrett doing what they do best.
All right. Kog'Maw getting another skill. Now up to 4-0. Once again, the real lifeline of the team. We do have the possibility of.
Oh, Shadow Surge landing on XP. Everfrost's going to be traded, but the Ignite is down for Jackie. Going to be able to pick up that kill for himself.
Unfortunately, still no. He did have flash there, but at that point it was too late. His damage has already been done.
King looking to get aggressive onto this bot lane. The sole strong point for Sacramento State. But Venti doing a lot of damage to King here. Going to get the cleanse out from the onslaught of shadows. The board going to provide a little bit of lifesteal. The Yuumi healing's coming through, but isn't quite going to be able to pick up the kill. Oh, actually, he is going to find it. The Minionado is going to clean up Azakana for him there. Garrett's trying to chase down another one on the bot side as we're getting aggressive on a 50 Bry guy up into the top lane with Justin and Bamo there. XP teleporting in, going to be able to find his first kill of the game on Zai down in the bot lane. Looks like he should be able to get out from Jackie's sights as well. So overall, the play for Sac State going to be a 3-for-1. Love to see it. Going real well for the boys down there. Even up that gold lead a little bit.
Sac State picking up some much-needed kills off of the back of Venti there. Very good. Really good kiting as well. Knowing his damage, knowing his strength. Managing to sit there and fight against the Hecarim.
Oh, yeah.
Will be able to kill him there.
I mean, on Kog'Maw, you don't have a lot of choice. The champ is basically a turret. There's not really ever a call other than to just stand and hit. You know, you don't have a lot of choices in that situation. You use the cleanse and the flash where you need to try to dissuade the damage a little bit. Justin down 2 levels, but up a considerable amount of HP in this top fight. We'll see if he can make a play on the 50 Bry guy here. Bamlo coming up into the top lane to support him. They're chasing him down. Can't imagine there's going to be a tower dive here or anything like that, but get a little bit of solace for Justin up here. Been having a real brutal time thus far.
Yeah, kind of what happens.
Oh, Venti may have bitten off more than he can chew this time around. Going to be pretty much one shot before he's able to get down any meaningful damage onto the team. Oh, big shockwave out of XP, and X going to find 1 kill onto Jackie. Going to pick up 2 for himself. Also going to find Azakana on the back of the play as well. Sac State might be looking at this next dragon up in 15 seconds here.
Yeah, great team. They hear all of our talk about how Venti's the backbone of this team right now. They just say, well, we don't need Venti to win a fight. Go and pick themselves up a couple of kills. Now in position to take this dragon, but Riot Guy might have something to say about that.
Oh, this is a big Urgot. Our gold leader for this game, the richest man on the Rift at the moment. Definitely is going to have something to say about this Sac State Dragon take. Teemo going to smite that one true, and it's sole point for Sac State. Off of the pressure that they've had out of this bot lane, they've been able to get the dragon stack going. They're up to 3 early dragons and potentially that Hextech Soul here in just under 5 minutes.
Yep, that's the possibility of Hextech Soul. If I'm not mistaken, Hextech Soul does give attack speed, right?
That's right, you're getting attack speed as well as ability haste from the new Hextech Dragon.
Yeah, Teemo and Kog'Maw are gonna like that for their respective champions.
Oh, definitely. And among the higher damage souls that you see as well, right up there with Inferno in terms of the damage it's going to bring to the composition.
Yeah. So, Hextech Dragon, very bueno for the side of Sac State. We move into the 20-minute mark. Baron is now up. Side lanes are being pushed in. We are officially in mid-game.
The lane assignments here. Claire and Utah swapping Ezreal up to the top lane to kind of solo clear that one out, and a swap Rai guy down to the bot lane to try to take down that last outer turret that we have standing in the bot lane currently. You know, Southern Utah's bot lane, of course, having a little bit of a rough go of it against Venti and Garrett, something that we've seen quite a bit of bot lanes in the Big Sky have trouble going into. You know, these are our two guys for sure, so can be tricky.
Tricky indeed.
Oh, we've got 3 down here onto Justin. The minion's going to die, but there is just so much damage coming out of 50 Guy right now. We've got King in his own fight up top side. True Shot Barrage going to provide a little bit of support over the top, but he is in there all by himself against 4, going to fall to Bamo. 2, 1, and 2 on the Teemo jungle, and the call is going to be Baron for Sac State. They do shred this thing pretty darn fast. Nobody really to tank it up, though. Bamo going to take a lot of damage from this Baron, but with the Nashers, with the 2-item Kog'Maw, this Baron's going to go down in a hurry. We'll see what Zay has to say about the play. Baron to drop into 2200 HP. Bamo going to be feared into the rest of the team. 1300 on the Baron. Bamo going to be able to pick it up with his smite, but not before he falls to Zai. Zai dropping very low, going to get the arcane shift out of there, and Venti is shredding all of them right now. Zai going to flash out of there, not going to find the Prowling Projectile, but the last Bio-Arcane Barrage out of Venti, going to pick him up a triple at the end of the Baron play. That's going to be 3 kills and a Baron traded back for just Sac State's jungler.
Excellent kiting from Venti there, with the Yuumi to back him up, give him that extra damage and movement speed to sustain, and it's going to pick up that triple kill and the Baron for Society Sac State.
Oh, Justin's in trouble again, having a brutal go of it. May not have signed on to play the Malzahar top lane. That's a rough one for our boy up there, 060.
Yep. At least we got a decent amount of farm, 170 farm.
He'll be relevant. You know, Malzahar's only got to have his R key bound to be useful, so we're good there.
Yeah. So just at least they still have the arc. Yeah, at least still have the yeah, I forgot the name of it. But yeah,
Nether Grasp, I believe, is the name of the ability. I just called it the outplay button.
Yeah. Still has the outplay button to help his team out, potentially stop a champion like Hecarim or Vex from diving onto Kog'Maw in the late game team fights. And yeah, Dragon now spawning up in less than a minute.
And this is sole point for Sac State. We'll see how this composition functions as a 5-man unit. We haven't really seen it too much yet, just kind of the 4-man running around with Justin just kind of off wave clearing against 50 Guy, who has become a monster in this game, has picked up the Anathema's Chains, crucially. Almost positive he's got that one down onto Venti to cut some of the Kog'Maw damage in these fights, as he is full squish. This is not that tank Kog'Maw that you're seeing tearing up solo queue right now. He is full glass cannon outside of the magic resist that Wit's End is going to provide him. We've got a whole minefield of Teemo Shrooms down. Pink Ward going to spot out a lot of them there. No real value going to be had out of those, unfortunately. This will be the setup onto the Dragon. Oh, and it looks like we've got a pick here. Zai going to die right off the bat. That's going to be huge for Sac State, being able to be in a 4v5 situation for this sole fight. The Dragon is started. Sac State going to attempt to pull the Dragon up toward the mid lane here, away from Southern Utah. Just a stalemate right now. The Shadow Surge in, it's big, it's going to find a fear onto 3. Venti's got the cleanse out, he's in the back, they haven't gotten onto him yet. We'll see if 50 Guy is able to walk through the damage. Triple kill for Jackie on the Vex. Venti is kiting, doing what he can, but the healing from Garrett not quite going to come through in time. And it is going to be an ace for nothing fight for the side of Southern Utah, despite the Ezreal pick to start off the play. Zai did not participate a single point of damage in that fight. And Southern Utah is still going to be able to find all 5 members of Sac State without losing a single one. And that's got to be off of the huge play out of Jackie to start that one off. Landing the Shadow Surge, getting in there, fearing up multiple members. Huge stuff.
Yeah, and the Urgot. We didn't see Urgot at the last Baron fight. Those fight that Sac State most recently won. So that was one thing that I was noting too, that Urgot's going to be a really big factor in this fight. It's going to change the outcome. He most certainly did.
Well, Shroom going to land on a Jackie. Looks like he's going to be able to get out of that one. Teemo can be a pretty difficult champ to siege into with the mushrooms, providing great wave clear even in lanes where he is not currently present in, as well as being able to chunk out the opposing members.
Last saving grace there being Sac State did manage to pick up that soul. Now on Hextech Soul, the next dragon will be Elder Dragon.
Right, indeed. And this is getting to the point in the game where the a pretty much full magic damage composition could be a little bit scary, as we've got 2.5 defensive items completed onto King. We've got the Anathemas picked up for 50 Raigai, as well as the Anathemas that we were talking about a little bit earlier. You know, these Southern Utah members are going to get real tanky real quick.
Yep, the tank sets are going to be stacking up, and there's only so much shred you can build onto champs like Kog'Maw and Teemo, champs we've been seeing the most damage from so far. So I'm a little worried to see what, worried and interested to see what Sac State's going to want to do here, because the clock is ticking.
For sure. I want to be a little bit critical of Venti's build on this Kog'Maw here, because I think it's kind of a tough one. This is one of those games where as an 80 carry, you almost wish you had, you know, 8 item slots to be able to deal with the opposing composition. You know, I almost feel like maybe you want to build a little bit more defensively to be able to get more value out of your Yuumi. You know, you can stay alive longer, get more heals out of your Yuumi, and basically you have more effective HP by being able to survive longer with the Yuumi on you. As we've got the Flash Nether Grasp out of Justin, going to outplay the crap out of Zai in the top lane. Poor guy. Got game played.
It hasn't played the game in such a long time, just waiting to be able to play some more League of Legends. Once again, 4v5 situation put onto the map, and Sac State starts up the Baron.
We're on to the Baron. We've got XP with the Unleashed Teleport available, going to be answering 50 Raigai down in the bot lane. 50 Raigai going to teleport. We'll see if the Shockwave. Shockwave is going to get the cancel for XP, so there will not be a play onto the Baron. Sac State just going to take that right in front of T-Bird's face and get out with their lives this time around.
Weren't exactly able to see that, but it does look like Raigai might have just teleported right in Oriana's face there. So kind of a misplay.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me as well.
Hey, you have to respect the teleport cancel that can come out from Oriana, because she loses absolutely nothing from stopping that teleport.
Oh yeah, you get a couple of the haste items in onto Oriana, and the Shockwave becomes like less than a minute cooldown. Not going to be hurting too much for that one. Flash Everfrost out of XP, going to find 50 Raigai, and Venti's Kog'Maw going to shred him down in no time. 10 kills for the man. Doing work for the boys right now. Bringing the gold pretty much to even. Just about a 200 gold lead for the side of T-Birds.
And with Urgot down, that's 40 more seconds on the map that essentially Sac State has all control. That Urgot had all the gold. Well, not all the gold, but he was the strongest member on the team. So now Sac State with the upper hand here, able to do whatever they want, especially with this Baron buff. Looks like they have bottom tower in their sights first.
As Venti's in onto this bot tier 2. It's been a crazy game, but real quick, I want to give some shouts to the other Big Sky boys that have been in here having fun with us in the Twitch chat. I see Kama Bird, NAU's top laner, if I recall correctly. Night Sate mid laner for NAU. I saw some Weber State guys in there. Thanks everybody for coming out, having a little bit of fun with us. We'll be excited for some more matches with y'all in the playoffs later on.
I want to thank everyone really quick for watching. Thank you for being here, having a little bit of fun with us. Game now on the 30-minute mark. Elder Dragon going to be spawning up in 1 minute as T-Birds move into the bottom side of the map to fight for that vision. Sac State, most flashes are down right now, so this is going to be a really dangerous next fight for them. And they're going to have to fight here, because Elder Dragon for
We've got 50 Ryguy in great position right now, but all the members of T-Bird's not quite here yet. 50 Ryguy going to look for the flash play onto Bamo. Bamo's health bar dropping very low, but the heals out of Garrett going to keep him topped off for the moment. Zai with the arcane shift forward going to take quite a bit of damage out of Bamo. They're actually going to force the heal out, but it will be inside position onto the Elder Dragon for T-Birds at the moment. Shadow Surge going to miss a crucial cooldown missing for Jackie on this Vex right now. As Sac State now with the inside track onto the Elder Dragon. Oh, Shockwave landing on a Ryguy. Humongous to be able to get most of T-Bird's gold off the map right now. Jackie looking for a flank here. King with the Onslaught of Shadows is into the middle of the team, but going to be locked up by the Nether Grass, but not before Jackie can find so much damage onto the back line of Sac State. But Venti is in. He's looking forward. He's got 2 kills already. Jackie flashing out of there, flashing away from this Goliath and Kog'Maw that Venti has for himself right now. It's a triple kill. Jackie going to pretend he's a wolf for a moment, but not before Venti sniffs him out. Going to force the Zanyas out. Definitely stalling. Well played by the man, but that's going to be Elder Dragon over to Sac State, but only after they pick up all 5 members of T-Birds there.
And with the Elder Dragon picked up, they looks like there's not really any waves for them to be able to capitalize on at the moment, sadly. So I'm going to recall here, but excellent fight. Being able to catch out that Urgot early on, once again, walking a little bit too far forward into this team. They are the ones that you could argue that T-Birds has the lead here, but once you walk into Kog'Maw, that's lights out. That's game over. All he needs is about 3 seconds to attack you. You're dead.
He is full build here, 33 minutes into this one. Got the GA in for himself. Going to be really, really difficult to deal with at this moment. And if you're 50 Ryguy, you got to make sure that you're not getting picked off at the start of these fights. Like I said, he is a huge share of the gold for T-Birds right now. You know, Ezreal not having the start that he wanted to this game. Jackie, unfortunately, missing the Shadow Surge at the start of that play. So 50 Ryguy going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting if T-Birds had wanted to win that Elder Dragon fight.
This ADC matchup, Ezreal's 3 items down.
3 items down. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, the gold difference down there, about 8,000 gold separates these two AD carries.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's...
Oh, we've got the Nether Grasp onto 50 Ryguy, but actually buffering it out with the Urgot. Either just above the threshold. Venti's going to get the Dragon's Breath onto the man. And the Urgot getting picked off again. Sac State onto the mid inhibitor here. Pushing into the base. Likely going to go unchallenged with this Elder Dragon buff still available for a little while longer. Looks like the call will be to back off of there. We do have Baron up in 15 seconds, which means that 50 Ryguy, while having the Unleashed teleport available, will not be able to join if Sac State is able to burn this Baron down quickly, and they do have the damage to do so.
If Sac State, knowing their threshold, knowing their damage, they're going to just immediately hop onto it, and it's already almost dead.
Nashor's Teemo, full build Kog'Maw. Baron does not stand a chance against Sac State's B comp right now.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a beast.
Oh! We've got Flash Nether Grasp onto King. He's going to die so incredibly quickly. Full build Kog'Maw just going to burn him down immediately. Sac State could be looking for the game here. The final chapter. Going to find 50 Ryguy. He's going to be locked up. Venti not quite in range to hit just yet. Sac State with the Baron. Things are onto the Nexus Towers. Big Shadow Surge. Going to find XP and X. Going to be picked off at the beginning of the play, but not before 50 Ryguy takes most of his HP. Zai going to die. 50 Ryguy going to find the Urgot ultimate onto the team there. Venti stepping up. Venti putting in the damage to 50 Ryguy. He's going to fall. A lone Shi Dazakana stands in the face of Venti, Garrett, and Justin as they're onto the Nexus here in Game 1. Looks like the B Comp going to close it out. Going to pick up Game 1 for Sac State. GG, boys.
Flowers have been pollinated, and it's time to celebrate. Sac State manages to clutch out that win with the B composition. We did see some contention in that game from the side of T-Birds there with their solid composition, but as I said, Sac State, they're just some really great players, and they managed to pull out a win with champs like Timo Jungle and Malzahar Top. So, really impressive work.
All right, everybody, stick around. We've got a mic check coming in between the two games here, and you definitely won't want to miss game 2. See if maybe the B comp gets run back. Who knows? We'll see. Stick around.
Sit down, you sit down, you sit down, you sit down,
Okay, boys, I'm telling you, I know the counter pick to their team.
It's fucking Ash Renata.
It's a Teemo angle, boys. It's a Teemo angle. Man, you guys are looking cute today.
Ollie is not running Flash.
Hitting. Kinderhook gonna get down the ultimate. Not gonna matter. Hyde's gonna go for the heroics. Will not matter either. 14, 1, and 4 for Venti's Caitlyn. A triple kill to cap off this dominant Sac State win in game 1.
Oh my god, absolutely crazy.
Nice.
You guys won't be getting Monty's breadstick. So,
Can you sleep on mic?
you guys can't sleep on mic?
The breadsticks at Pasquale's are actually really good.
Okay, so Teemo Jungle, boys.
It's really good version with Tristana.
It is pretty good,
I mean,
actually.
is there another?
Timo can also like blind them and
Play Teemo! Bro, I'm telling you, I
I'm
want to
not
play
saying you can't play Teemo, and like while we'll know it's not VM, they might not know it's VM. I mean,
Fine, pick me, Zinjao. Wait, Udyr! Good, Zinjao. I'm down to play Udyr, though. I love the channel.
Dude, you remind me of like Doug from freaking Up right there. It's like, oh wait, squirrel.
Zach is around here.
I have to be careful. Oh, they're with you.
let's stay here.
Just sitting here. Zach?
One shot him. Yeah, you me
That
too.
should be game.
You me strong.
Yeah,
You me strong.
Man,
We got mid. I got 8 trucks.
I exhaust him.
2 seconds. Justin, run down mid with ult. Or run down with ult. Nice. Go mid. We try to end. We have to end here.
Yeah, we'll end.
Oh, we can probably enter top quicker.
Die?
Wait, where's Zach?
Nobody killed him?
No, we didn't kill his blobs.
In 5 seconds, the fight's going to break out. Venti's in the back line. He's getting Let's Bounce on. The Inferno Trigger going to be unleashed, and it is slowly chipping down the health bars of Montana. Montana dropping very low. Venti is popping off here. He's got another one. He's gonna pick up.
And then stolen by Bamo.
Oh no!
Oh my
Bamo!
god.
Oh my!
I cannot believe we won that game.
Dude, there's no shot. I want to see the
Dude,
gold
that was
grass.
one of the most crazy games. Oh my god.
Wait, look at the gold grass, guys. They were up 20 kills. They were like barely ahead.
Wait,
Wait,
we're
we were
up
ahead
gold.
for the
We're
entire
up
game.
gold and we're down 20 kills.
Sit up, hey, you sit up, hey, you sit up, hey, you sit up, hey, sit up, hey, you sit up, hey, you sit up, hey, you like a cool blue light, like a cool blue light, like a cool blue light, like a cool blue light.
All right, lads and lasses, welcome back. Hope you all enjoyed that little mic check we put together. The boys having tons of fun out there. We're back. Southern Utah electing to stay on blue side for game 2 here. We'll see if we get the B comp run back or not. Not too sure how this one's gonna shake out. We'll have to see. Oh my god.
Oh, just crushing our dreams right off the bat. How could you do that to us? The Sac State Hornets, man.
Tasty, you and I were talking in between the games, like, I can't imagine that they throw bans at the B comp. Like, that would just be ridiculous. But here we are. Venti Cogbot is drawing bans, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm pretty sure there's no other B 80 carries, right? I think
no, not. I mean, you could play Ziggs down there. They just released the Ziggs skin, so you could, you know, Ziggs bot is something that we see pretty often, but Kog'Maw is pretty darn important for the B comp since every B skin champ does magic damage.
Yeah. It's a really big hit to the our dreams of a second B comp. Looks like it's going to be the only. They're only going to ban Kog'Maw as well because that's all, that's all they really need to ban.
Well, yeah. With the Kog'Maw out of there, the dream is ruined. I mean, it's just not playable with full magic damage after that. So they're going to go back to standard bans after that, opting to drop the Thresh ban in favor of the Kog'Maw ban. And then it's going to be the same bans run back for the side of Sac State. We'll see what the B1 pick is going to be here. It's going to be Hecarim again. It's a good pick here. I know that Bamo really likes Trundle into this champ, so, oftentimes that is kind of the trade. When you see Bamo pick Trundle, it's often because they're giving up the Hecarim to blue side early on there. So you've got a Teemo hover. We'll see if he does it again.
This looks like a Teemo angle here. This looks like a really good Teemo angle.
Okay, so there's the Trundle. That's kind of what I'm expecting. That was definitely a very good matchup into the Hecarim. Hecarim, you're not going to be able to duel this champ pretty much ever during the game. Oh boy. We're going to get a Venti Zeri. So now, I play with Venti quite a bit myself. There was a custom game I played against him. And so now, to be clear, this dude is incredibly, incredibly good. This man does things on champs that I have played for 8 years that I just have no idea was even possible. However, I destroyed his Zeri.
Oh, that is something you really want to hear if you're
So now, also, I will also say, I may have had Garrett supporting me, and he may have had a platinum support, but that's beside the point.
Now we do also have a open angle for Yumi here to put on the Zeri.
Yeah, so Yumi's certainly a far cry from what Garrett normally likes to play, but it is an incredibly potent pairing with the Zeri. Both those champs just looking to scale, and they can do so very, very safely when paired together. Looks like the answer into the Zeri going to be Ezreal for Jackie. Not my favorite pick into Zeri, but it is a decent one for sure. You basically just match, and you come online a little bit quicker as the Ezreal. Got Urgot picked up for 50 Rye Guy, going to run that one back, but this time around, Justin going to be able to get counterpick into that matchup, going to lock up the Mordekaiser for himself, signature pick of his. You saw it on the graphics that we played during the champ select. That was the champ that he chose to be synonymous with him throughout this split, and he is no slouch on the pick.
Yeah, Justin going to throw down the gauntlet. You maybe go 0-7. Last game, it's your turn now.
Word.
Counter pick as T-Birds are really starting to just run it back here with this team composition. They're really believing in the strength of the champions that they picked last game. Just I think the execution could be better.
Yeah, I guess so. The pieces that you could potentially put in around this composition could change a little bit. We saw Karma out of Atsukana last game and got very little done on the pick last time around, so maybe we'll see something that enables the Hecarim in sort of different ways. Obviously, the shielding and the speed ups, super, super great for Hecarim, but you didn't really see that pairing pan out too terribly much last game, so we'll see if maybe the call is to go for a more engaged style support. Not going to be the best pairing with Ezreal ever, but Okay, so here's the angle. We're getting a Garrett Renata Glass, it would seem. We're just getting the full 2022 bot lane here for Sac State. See what they can make happen on those two new picks.
Now that is absolutely terrifying because Zeri, especially when it gets to late game, Zeri being unkillable is that is a real possibility because not only will they have that speed and sustain and mobility to keep themselves up, but when they even are coming close to dying, they'll just essentially get another health bar to work with. That's going to be really tough to deal with here because T-Birds don't have much CC to lock her down.
Oh, pretty much none at all. You just have some pretty conditional. Okay, so Braum gonna supplement that decently. You've got the charm, skill shot can be dodged, can be blocked. So. Same with the Urgot. Hecarim's got the point and click CC as well as the very easy to land Onslaught of Shadows, of course, but could be very, very tricky to lock this area down. And we've got a Yasuo for XPNX. Shouts to Keybladed, here it is.
Now I'm not very familiar, not completely an expert on how Yasuo's ultimate works, but does Yasuo ult work off of Trundle Pillar?
If he gets the displacement, yes. So if you get the Trundle Pillar like directly under somebody, it will kind of knock them to the side, and you can Yasuo ulti off of that. You can also Yasuo ulti off of the displacement from both Renata's Q as well as Mordekaiser's E. So you do have a little bit of usually single target setup for XPNX's Yasuo this time, but you know, it's certainly not the Malphite or the Alistar or Dream pairings that you like to see with the champ, but it looks like we're just kind of out here having some fun. And so now I wanted to talk about this Ahri pick for Jackie a little bit really quickly. I actually really liked the Vex for him last game. I thought he played really, really well on the champ, made so much happen throughout the game. He did have one crucially missed Shadow Surge in that late game team fight around the Elder Dragon. Basically left all of Southern Utah out to dry since 50 Ragai had been picked off just prior. So the Ahri going to be more of a facilitator pick, you know, not a ton of damage coming through from this composition right now, and you do have some beef on the side of Sac State, and obviously that beef you're going to have to kill twice potentially, depending on who Renata decides to throw that W onto. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Sac State's got by no means an orthodox draft either.
Yeah, really weird draft. Really, not weird. Really unorthodox, as you say, draft. Looking for a different word there. But question I want to ask you, in honor of Venti, his classic question, what are your game timers here? What time do you think this game's going to end?
So we're guessing a Sac State dub for sure. I'm going to say in 26.
All right, 26 minutes. Now, if T-Birds are to win this game, at what time do you think that's going to happen?
I'm actually also going to say 26. And the reason for that is I think that T-Bird's composition is going to fall off late game. I think that they're going to have a hard time dealing with Zeri Yasuo later on in the game. They're going to have a hard time cutting through Trundle and Mordekaiser with the relatively low damage composition that they've drafted here. And then Sac State, you know, I just kind of expect to win lanes and be better players, which is why I guess similar game timers, even though I give Sac State the scaling edge.
I agree with you there, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to price this right you. For Sac State, I'm going to say 25 minutes, and for T-Birds, I'm going to say 27.
Fine by me. My game predictions have been so wrong thus far this split regardless, so that's probably a good call to go a little bit different from what I've been doing.
Yep, gotta say the same on my end too. I'm pretty sure I'm like 1-4 so far.
Oh man,
my game predictions. Now, as for team comps, though, I would definitely like to be on the Sac State's team comp more than I would T-Bird's team comp, as you said. Not much damage coming from T-Birds. Like, the damage is there, but it's like it's not as like huge or like meaty as the damage that you get from Sac State here. Like champs like Mordekaiser are going to be one-shotting the champs on T-Bird. So definitely much more scarier damage coming from the Hornets.
Yeah, definitely. And it's both teams, I would say, have compositions that like to play back for the most part, and then they have like one or two pieces that are kind of awkward, don't super gel with that, where you have the Yasuo for Sac State that wants to be going in, getting into the face of people, and wants to be going into you, whereas the rest of Sac State's comp much prefers having champs come to them. And then the same can be said for T-Birds, with the exception being basically the Hecarim. Obviously, that's a champ that you want to be going in. But, I mean, we'll just have to see how it shakes out, see what the boys can get done with these drafts. A lot more standard than the B comp that we got last game, but different nonetheless, and going to be an exciting one, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but if I'm not wrong, I mean, these are some new champs that played for Sac State. If I'm not mistaken, this is a completely new bot lane for both of these players.
Yeah, this will be Garrett's first Renata of the split. This will be Venti's first Zeri of the split. And this is also XP's first Yasuo of the split. Bamo, got a lot of Trundle games under his belt. Justin certainly got a handful of Mordekaiser games under his belt as well. T-Bird's going to switch it up a little bit this game, going to be looking for the bot side invade, and Sac State, like two ships in the night, going to look for their own invade onto the top side.
All right. Both teams going to get some vision. 2 wards in the bot side jungle. For
T-Bird's double
Two
warding.
Two eyes, better than one.
So it's going to be both both junglers, pardon me, pathing toward their top sides this game. Both going to be looking for those extra potent leashes from their bot lane, but I think more crucially, you know, you've got these this matchup in the top lane that could potentially be very swingy. You know, you want to be able to get control of that top side of that side lane push advantage as quickly as you can. Both of these compositions, you know, really going to like having the 1-3-1 opened up to them because their compositions function a little bit oddly as a 5-man unit. But Ari and Yasuo both can side lane fairly well. Urgot and Mordekaiser both can side lane very well. So getting advantages in your solo lanes and being able to transition that into the side lanes to get that side lane pressure throughout the mid to late game going to be super beneficial for both of these teams, which is, I'd imagine, why we see the junglers pathing this way.
Yep, and then once that late game comes too, it's not much you could do. If Mordekaiser gets the lead, not much you could do into those side lanes. You take literally anyone if you try to skirmish.
Oh, Garrett gonna land the little flick onto Zai there. Ignite's gonna go down. Zeri's damage pretty underwhelming early on into the game, but going to get a very, very favorable trade there off of the early level 2 spike.
But as every League of Legends player knows, the Venti buff adds a little extra damage onto any champion they play.
Oh, a little sugar spice for sure. A little extra oomph. King cannot take this duel. Bamo will just beat him to bits here. This is going to be a flash into the chomp. First blood for Bamo. Trundle early game is no joke. The red buff on, level 3 for both of these players. You've got the lethal tempo on Trundle, the phase rush on Hecarim. You do not want that duel. And Bamo going to pick up an early and easy first blood for himself. Oh, he gets to execute! Just barely on the edge of the Hecarim W there. Not going to take any damage from it. Going to execute.
Bamo, the smooth criminal, manages to get away with murder. Literal murder there.
Oh, he's got the cool guy glasses on after that one.
Managing to get that early invade kill onto Hecarim. A flashless, so not really able to escape there. Especially with the Trundle pillar to stop his only exit. A good play from Bamo. All right, so we calm down a little bit more into this game. See, CSing. Hecarim with the CS lead. Much more faster of a clear than Trundle, especially with his early invade. Are going to meet for a moment in the Scuttle Crab, top river.
Oh, Charm landing on XP, not quite going to get dragged into tower range there. Jackie with the Ignite available might have been able to pick up a solo kill had that Charm brought XP back a little bit further. Yeah, outside of jungle, you see pretty even CS numbers across the board. You know, Venti's got a bit of a lead for himself at this point. You know, being able to get the shove on Zeri, this is part of why I don't super like the Ezreal pick into Zeri, is the most comfortable lane state for Zeri early on into the game is being able to shove like this. Being able to crash waves into the tower is your favorite spot to be at as a Zeri. You've got so much safety from ganks, you're not too concerned about that. And your all-in potential on the champ early on into the game is very limited, so this is where you want to be for sure. XP could be getting aggressed on into this mid lane. Does have the tornado available. The Ignite is down onto him. Going to flash. Might be just a bit too late. Bamo might be able to get the pillar in here. Going to save his boy. XP gets out of there with just the flash.
Alright, as we pan back down the top lane, we do note that with the champs on the side of
So we do know that Babo can take this duel, but XP has just returned off of the teleport. Jackie really slow on the rotation there. I think that there's a world in which, you know, you get down there quite a bit quicker on the Ahri. No flash on Bamo off of that duel that he took level 3 at the enemy blue buff. Could have very easily been a kill onto Bamo had Jackie reacted a little bit quicker there.
Yeah, King of Trolls now converting that title into King of Jungle as he pushes that lead that he's sort of garnered himself early on. Managing to pick up the first dragon, Infernal Dragon, for his team. Beautiful.
And that's another benefit of being able to have this prio down in the bot lane, as Justin's taking 50 Ryguy to Brazil here. Looks like he won't quite have the damage to get him. Oh, a lot of damage down onto Garrett. Gonna get a little bit of healing back. Flash again with the W, maybe trying to find a kill to get the res off, but will not be the case. Bamo and Venti chasing down Azakana here, but their damage is just so low this early on in the game. Venti going to have to flash away, going to be knocked back by the Hecarim E there, and that's going to be a clean 3-for-0 for T-Birds down in the bot lane.
Green team trying to pull out a little bit of a cheeky 3-kill there, but T-Birds managed just to kite that out and pick up the 3K.
And this bot lane is just such a divergence from what we normally see Sac State playing. You know, they like to play those bot lanes that either are incredibly winning early on into the game, as, hold on, the last breath is down in the mid lane. Jackie going to have to use his own ultimate to get out of that situation, as XP, you have to imagine, had the damage for the solo kill there.
Lane's going pretty even so still in this game, as Sac State does manage to start picking up.
Oh, XP going to dash forward. That was his last minion there. And his sweeping blade going to be canceled out by the Hecarim charge. That's going to be an easy kill handed over to Jackie on the Ahri, equalizing the little bit of a bad trade that he took earlier on, getting hit by the tornado into the last breath.
And as the action never stops, we do see early itemization coming in from all the members in this game here. So, looks like a Divine Sunder is going to be built on Trundle with the response. X-Tech. I forgot the name. The fast one. The very fast one. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, the Chemtech. Yeah.
Yeah, Chemtech.
Yeah. It's known by another name, which I struggle mightily to not say when I'm on the cast. Oh! It's going to be a flash into the Braum ulti for Azakana there. Going to get dragged into the tower, though. Going to take a lot of damage, but so will Garrett. Oh, and in stark contrast to the top lane matchup that we saw last game, it seems like Justin is just having his way with 50 Ryguy here. We've got the mid and jungle of Sac State going to make their way up into the top lane as well, and Bamo going to pick that one up for himself.
All right, managing to try to close out some of that gold.
Oh, King is just sitting in the bush here. I don't know about this 2v2, though. I think that Sac State is still in a winning position for this. Going to be able to just take away the blue buff and get out of there. They had 50 Ryguy, obviously still in the base after being killed off there, so there was not going to be any support from the top lane coming through there for T-Birds, whereas Justin had the priority, was obviously still in lane off of the kill going over to Bamo from the top side there, so that support going to come in there first. But XP getting aggressive, Charm going to land, going to get the last breath down, dance a little bit around there, but going to get caught up anyway. Onslaught of Shadows going to pull Bamo out from underneath the turret, but his flash will get him to safety there.
Yep, excellent aggression coming out from the side of T-Birds, capitalizing on the strengths that they know they have in this early game. However, the Trundle, I don't think there's any point in time where Hecarim can fight Trundle in a solo environment. So, a little bit of too much aggression when it comes to those sorts of moments, but nonetheless, still playing this matchup the way you definitely should be playing.
Yeah, what you get out of this mid-jungle duo is a lot of playmaking, right? You've got the Hecarim E to dash in there, pull the enemy team back into you. The Onslaught of Shadows, you know, there's just so many angles by which you can make plays with this champ, whereas Trundle, not quite as much flexibility with just the pillar there, as 50 Guy might be overextended a little bit here. The E-Dash going to get him a little bit further away, but Pillar going to lock him up, force the flash out. Justin's Claw going to drag him back into the waiting arms of Bamo, who will pick up his third on the Trundle.
So every time he tries to escape, he just gets sucked right back in there. Be another kill going up to the top lane as Bamo is now 3-2 with all his kills onto him. All eyes are on him for this game at the moment. As T-Bird starts up that Ocean Dragon, not going to be any contest from Sac State. That's going to be 1-1 on Dragons.
It looks like the call is just going to be the trade for the Rift Herald over on the top side. And with this mid matchup, this is something that I bring up quite a lot. You know, you've got a potent wave clear champ in Ahri that can be really difficult to crack the mid outer against. And you've got the short ranged Yasuo as Bamo going to pick up the eye, but looks very caught here in the middle of 4. Justin's support and XP support not going to make it over there in time to help him out, but going to be the Herald going over to Sac State. What I was saying is, I think this Herald likely goes mid lane. You know, Ahri can be really difficult to crack that first mid outer against. So you drop the Herald there down mid lane. You can get XP out of this matchup into a side lane where Yasuo is more comfortable. Everfrost landing onto him, but going to answer back quite a bit of damage. No Spirit Rush, no Ignite available for Jackie. The Flash going to be expended real early on. XPNX does have the Flash available, going to be able to get the Sweeping Blade away from the Charm, going to pick up a solo kill for himself onto Jackie's Ahri, punishing that ult cooldown beautifully as Venti's chasing onto Zai there, going to pick up a 2v1 kill for our bot lane there. Well played. And equalizing some of that gold, actually ahead now despite the 1 kill deficit.
Right? That was just about like 2 whole minutes of straight action right there. There was a lot of stuff that went down there. But,
oh, it'd be that way sometimes with our games. Whew, better be ready for some action.
In the end, T-Birds get the Dragon, and Sac State trades that for the Rift Herald. Kills start to get a little bit evened up here. Likely going to be seeing this Rift Herald. This Rift Herald could actually go like anywhere, in my opinion. All 3 of these lanes have the potential to carry off of that gold.
Yeah, it definitely becomes a lot more gray now, where this Yasuo and this Zeri now much more valuable pieces to move around the map. You know, a lot more gold onto them. Zeri hitting that Trinity Force spike now. Really powerful champion on that one item. As there it is, the pillar into Last Breath going to land on the King. The Renata ult is down, will not find any of the targets though, but the Flash Q will, and that's going to be another kill over to XP. They're chasing Jackie down here. The Spirit Rush is available. Likely no further aggression going to happen here on this play.
That's what I like to see. The Trundle pillar into the Yasuo ultimate. I've actually really never seen that before. I didn't believe you when you said it worked. It actually worked. So.
Well, there it is. It's not the most consistent, you know, and clearly I was pretty surprised that they were able to line that one up, but Bamo has been piloting this Trundle to what I would call near perfection throughout the season. No stranger to the champ, and displaying some of that skill with the pillar there, able to set up XP and X for a little cheeky kill.
Yep, and capitalizing off of that aggression. One thing I do see a lot from junglers, right? It's always a flip of a coin, you know, as we get a little bit of a fight down top.
Oh, and a good flash going to get him out of the pillar slow there. And here's the Herald that we were talking about earlier. Looks like this bot outer will fall before. We do have a TP coming in from the back for 50 Guy. King gonna make his way in there as well. No flash on this Sac State bot lane. Garrett does have the stopwatch to buy a little bit of time. Venti's kiting for Jesus out here on the Zeri. Garrett going to be locked up by the Urgot. A big fear going to find Venti, but that will be cleansed away from. XPNX is into the back line. The shield bow is down. He will fall. Venti chasing, kiting, but there is just not a lot of damage coming out of the Zeri just yet. T-Bird's going to be looking to slow play this. Can Jackie find the Q snipe onto Venti here? Oh, the Spirit Rush in. He's going to short the Q. might be able to be traded back. Justin's got a TP of his own in, is going to just clean up T-Birds. That will be 5 for 3. An absolute bloodbath in the bot lane here, 15 minutes in.
As we see Sac State pick up that ace. Really good team fight on the side of them. Like, honestly. But before that team fight broke out, I was saying how one thing we do see with junglers is it's really a coin flip on whether or not they use the aggression correctly. Because for one note, you need to know when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive. And something that sort of flipped the favor into Sac State was over-aggression from King.
Oh, we've got another one! Tornado gonna land for XP, get him in there. Tons of damage gonna come down. Jackie gonna go berserk thanks to the Renata ulti there. Bamo going to find his 5th kill of the game on the Trundle, and that's gonna be the mid-jungle for T-Birds, dead in the dirt, meaning a free Hextech Dragon, you have to imagine, over to Sac State.
Yep, managing to pick off the enemy jungler.
Oh, Venti gonna take a lot of damage here, though. Melee range of an Urgot is not where you want to be. The ulti going to wear off crucially, though, before Venti gets below the threshold there.
All right, that's 2 dragons now over to Sac State. 3rd dragon will lead them to Soul Point. So we are likely going to be seeing another fight go down there. A really good pick onto the Hecarim. Caught a little bit too far forward with not enough vision.
And because of that, this whole time, Justin is just a lone top lane, farming up on this Mordekaiser. Looks like he's about to pick up that top outer as well. So much gold funneled into the pockets of this guy. At this point, he is going to be up just under 2,000 gold as we've got another fight in the mid lane. Azakana appears to be caught out there. Last Breath going to pick up a 3rd kill for XPNX's Yasuo. He's going to be scaling quite nicely himself. It looks like our boys are doing pretty well after a bit of a sketchy early game, as Venti could be looking for a solo bolo here down on to 50 Rai guy. Will be able to pick that one up. More aggression in the top lane. Got Justin taking King to Brazil here, going to be beating him down. We've got Jackie getting aggressed on outside of the Shadow Realm there. King going to be picked up by Justin's claw grab there. Jackie going to be able to make it out of there thanks to the Spirit Rush from Ahri. Looks like Call will now be onto the Rift Herald for Sac State.
Yeah, and a game that was looking quite dire for Sac State now in their favor. Sac State, their way of playing through their team members with leads, being able to use anybody as a carry, really coming out here.
Garrett's got the fancy feet today, boy. He's going to be able to dodge out of the Charm and the Everfrost. Probably not going to have a whole lot to say about this T-Bird siege onto the mid-outer, and that's going to be an objective bounty over to them. Close out a little bit of this 5,000 gold lead here, 19 minutes in.
Yep, as we all members of each team now getting their items up. Everybody now with their first items. As we do something to note here, with the build you see typically on Zeri, this is really the team that you want for the items you build on Zeri, with a lot of with items like Trinity Force and Titanic Hydra. With these sort of beefier champs, they're just going to be getting torn right through by this Zeri build. So it's really what you want to see here.
Yeah, Zeri going to be set up beautifully to do so much damage in these fights. Loves to be able to kite away the opposing team members. Going to be in a position to do that against Urgot and Hecarim. Very, very kiteable champions for sure. And that real sus Zeri build that we've been seeing for the entirety of the life of the champion, going to be really well equipped to do just that. So we've got a little bit of a 2v2 down here around the Dragon Pit potentially. Damo's made his way in thanks to the Hex Cape there. The Pillar going to find Jackie, but the Everfrost going to keep him to safety when paired with the Spirit Rush there. Looks like there will be no pick.
Both teams dancing around this mid lane.
Herald going to go down. This could be a big gold swing if Sac State is able to get multiple crashes onto this Herald. Bamo going to be hit up by the charm. They're going to take a lot of damage. True Shot Barrage not going to find Bamo. He definitely was in kill range of that one. King's got the Ghost on. He's got the Ian, but a great Tornado out of XPNX going to stop that one. The Onslaught of Shadows going to get in onto the team. The Berserk going to catch Azakana there, and Sac State is just cleaning them up. Justin's in with the flash, doing so much damage down onto this backline. He's going to pick up 3 kills for himself, an absolute menace on this Mordekaiser. He's hit the 2 core items there, the Riftmaker, the Demonic Embrace. Absolutely massive on this Mordekaiser right now is Justin. The call for Sac State now going to be onto this bot tier 2 with 4 members of T-Birds on the fountain looking at gray screen.
Sac State with an amazing dive. Unfortunately, all the minions do die in the crossfire, so they won't be able to look for an end there. But Dragon is spawning up in under a minute, and that will be the sole point for Sac State. Okay. They're all going to be doing their recalls and heading straight towards there. T-Birds not in a position to contest, but Baron is now up.
Yeah, this is going to be sole point going over to Sac State. Uncontested, no position here for T-Birds, barring a True Shot Barrage steal here, but will not come to pass as Bamo's got the smite down onto that one. And this is about as precarious a game state as you could possibly have if you're T-Birds. Sac State in absolute control of this game, up nearly 10,000 gold here at the 22-minute mark. Up 5 towers to 1. Soul point, it doesn't get a whole lot worse than this if you're T-Birds, luckily. That is until you consider the scaling of the Sac State composition, and it's looking pretty dire for the side of T-Birds right now.
Yeah, once you get to this point, your options just start running out if you're T-Birds. You can only really start hoping for a Baron sneak or a good skirmish for a lucky team fight win, because right now Sac State has full range on the team. The items coming in. We do see sort of even item lead, but the Sac State's just their play as a team in these team fights has been on point.
Yeah, despite this composition being a bit of a divergence from what we usually see from them, they are piloting it very, very well, as we've got maybe a little bit of desperation looking for the picks here is T-Birds. Justin's got a flank here. The whole team coming in for the collapse. We've got the TP coming in from XPNX. He was down pushing the bot lane. Justin gonna buy some time with the Mordekaiser ultimate. The Renato ultimate is in, not going to find any members, but King is dropping low, going to get the Onslaught of Shadows off before he is put in the ground. XPNX going to land the Tornado into the last breath onto Zai, taking him down. And this looks like it's going to be a Sac State Baron.
Yeah, wonderful picks. That's 3 members down. No way for them to contest here. That will be Baron. As Yasuo does a little bit of light pushing in the top lane. Is going to get some aggression on. Not going to be able to get that tower, but Baron nonetheless for Sac State.
Venti has found a lonely Braum here. Very not the burstiest chip in the world. Oh, but XP has found a lone Urgot, and that may not be a duel that he wants to take. As 50 Ragai going to get the better of that one, at least at the start there, before both members back away.
All right. All lanes now pushing, and the light just gets dimmer and dimmer for T-Birds. There's not much else you can do here. With no objectives left, all they can do is just wait and defend for the next 3 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm not completely sure. I've been playing this game for 6 years. Still not completely sure how long Baron lasts, but nonetheless.
Well, I mean,
they
change the darn thing every 2 weeks. Who knows?
Yeah, so like basically a while.
Yeah.
Essentially. But Baron power play starting up now, as lanes start getting pushed in. As I said pre-game, there's nobody on this team comp that can really sideline into Mordekaiser. So this tower is eventually dead.
It's gonna be hard. It was 6K earlier when I talked about how difficult this game was gonna be. It is 12,000 gold plus the lead for Sac State at the moment now. As King looking to get aggressive here, but going to be thwarted by Garrett's Q there, but not before the Onslaught of Shadows is able to go off, pull him into the team. The W going to keep him safe for just a moment, but not before the rest of the team is able to follow up onto Venti. Oh, he cleanses out of the Braum passive early and will be charmed right afterwards as well. So that's going to be 2 quick, clean picks on the Sac State's bot lane here for T-Birds as Jackie getting aggressive onto Bamo, going to find the charm onto him. Not a lot of damage here, though, but they can chase. But here's these side lanes for Sac State, able to pick up 2 inhibitors. Just executing this 1-3-1 just as you wanted to see. Oh, 50 Rye Guy is in the meat grinder now, boys. Gonna be going down to Justin. The rest of the team will be here as soon as he gets out of the death realm. But Justin is an absolute raid boss on this Mordekaiser right now. If T-Birds does not play this carefully, they could both just fall to this Mordekaiser. Oh, a nice Arcane Shift going to get Zai out of the claw, but then he just Arcane Shifts into melee range right after. Oh, a nice flash out of Justin, going to get him out of the charge. The charm going to land, but not before Justin can get the shield off. He's ramping up with the Riftmaker. This is so insane what this man is doing on this champ right now. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. He's got 4. He just solo aced T-Birds on Mordekaiser. Justin is a monster, ladies and gentlemen.
That is the Iron Revenant for you. Justin base fights the whole team by himself. Gonna be closing out the game for Sac State here.
Oh my goodness. And this is why he has made this champion his signature pick. Gonna pull Sac State across the finish line to take the series 2-0. Thanks so much for watching today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had as good a time as we did. I'll see you all next weekend.
Sit down.